Amongst the mountains of northern Puebla, Nicolasa, who was born there, had lots of suitors. Her beauty and sympathy attracted them, really drove them crazy, every single one. Sharp ones and yerks, ugly and hideous, squats and dwarfs, tranquil and obnoxious, poor and penurious, not quite ignorant ones and illiterate, mannish and effeminate. She rejected every single one. When she turned 22 years old, a rumor that she was waiting for a rich man from the city was spread through the town. The priest got her confession, the doctor examined her, the witch exorcised her, her father threatened her, her mother blackmailed her, and her brother mocked her, but nothing worked. She wanted to run away, they impeded her, she opted for silence, and they pestered her. She wanted to become a nun, and they vilified her, she wasn't even supported by the church. Her life was hell, her days a torture, her nights a torment. At school, the principal and teachers harassed her. In the street, she was persecuted. At home, she was mistreated. One Sunday, she surprised everyone. She ran away early in the morning. At dawn, with the singing of the first roosters and the barking of the earliest rising dogs, she appeared to be too far. They could not reach her. No one was missing in the area, neither a donkey nor a mule, not even a horse. No truck was missing, nor a car, nor a bicycle. With whom and how had she left? In order to arrive to where the bus passed by, it was necessary to travel on a bad dirt road or on horseback for at least a couple of hours, a mule or donkey about 3 hours and a half, let alone by foot, which would have taken more than 7 hours keeping a good pace. Nevertheless, that was not possible. They looked for her everywhere, in the school and in the church, in the barn and in the stables, in the billiard, in the pharmacy, in the bakery, and in the 5 stores were the whores and the nuns. But to no avail. She was not found. She was definitely not in the community. 2, 3, 4 days went by. Some had already cried her, others confessed themselves, but there were no news from her. The few travelers that came to town claimed to know nothing. Nobody had seen her. When exactly a week went by, she was presumed dead, and the priest held a mass in which the whole town was present. Not one suitor was missing, not even the cleanest, nor the most foul-smelling. The chief had already given his speech in which he pointed out that it was a pity that the most beautiful flower had withered despite how much it was watered. The priest lectured with inspiration, saying that amongst the inhabitants of the town, she was beloved and fully respected, that she was a saint. Then everyone started to frenzy and shout, "Saint, saint, saint, saint. Tomorrow, without delay, a formal request will be sent to the bishop. Our town will have its first saint. May God shelter us," said the excited priest with tearing eyes. Sadness turned into cheerfulness in great rejoicing. Moonshine started to move around, beer and pulque, tears disappeared, and the dancing started in order to celebrate and cheer the new saint. The jamboree was at its peak. Many fell down shit-faced. Some of the suitors were fighting among them, quarreling over the merit of being the saint's favorite. The family, for its part, alleged to be taken into account in regard of every profit that could surge from the saint. Suddenly the priest said, "I want to remind you, for Nicholas to be accepted, first as a beatus and then as a saint, we must prove that she produced miracles." The priest hadn't yet finished his comment when some of the drunk men started to shout euphorically, "Miracle! Miracle!" Just in that moment, out of the blue, Nicolas appeared wrapped in a bedsheet. Haggard and emaciated, totally covered with dirt and baggy-eyed. With slow steps, she was going towards her parents. She looked like passing out in any moment. After the villagers' amazement and terror screams, an unexpected sepulchral silence appeared in perfect harmony with the deadly pale aspect of Nicolasa, who almost fainting said in a shaky voice, "It is true. It's a miracle that I'm still alive to tell you that I couldn't bear everyone's backlash anymore. Only because I wouldn't accept any suitor. I didn't leave the town. I hid in the only place in which I knew you were not going to look for me. The cemetery, where I partially buried myself for an entire week. I had the only visit of a couple of dogs to whom I thanked their accompaniment and accomplished silence. I thought I wouldn't get on my feet again. But I decided to come here and tell you that I didn't accept any of the suitors because I like women." After those words, she vanished. She took her last breath and never got up again. Then someone screamed loudly. She raised from the dead to confess her distress. She's a saint. We now have the miracle. She is a saint. No one echoed those words. Even the sun turned red with embarrassment, giving its place to the night, a colder, darker, and the most ever silent night.